How to make cupcakes out of baby tears.
Do you want to learn something or acquire a new skill?
Yes!
Are you tired of the overwhelming amount of information in that topic?
Yes!
Also just turned off by the tides of misinformation?
Me too. But I'm here to help both of us.
How are you, Internet? I'm Petrocelli. I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer, and I'm learning from the Internet on a budget because I'm a broke-ass millennial. And I'm taking you with me. Today, I'm here to share how I overcome the challenge of learning and implementing a new thing each week. And I'll provide you with a step-by-step and easy-to-follow strategy. My strategy comprises of 3 stages: prepare, process, and practice. It's based on the 2 most effective learning techniques and the basic principles of behavioral science. Strap on, this is going to be a longer video, but I hope it will help you out as much as it helps me. Define your interest. Maybe there's a topic you want to know more about, or there's an assigned topic that you need to study. Either way, just search for videos and resources that might interest you and create playlists from those videos. You can watch them, but don't forget to save them. And this is just browsing, not necessarily the watching part. All it matters is that you save them. You see an interesting thumbnail, save that to the playlist for later. You watch the video and you found it is valuable to you, save that to that topic, your private playlist. Why is this important? Well, we will talk about that later in the video. Define a goal. The goal can be something measurable within a time frame, or a goal can be to build a system in which continuous growth can happen. Clean your time. This is based on my experience, but also one of the 2 most efficient learning techniques according to the Department of Psychology of the University of San Diego. The first technique is called spacing effect. I will talk about the second technique later in this video. Multiple practice sessions over time results in better long-term memory than a single practice session of equivalent duration or an equivalent number of repetitions. This means it's best to make plans for days of learning, for example, 1 to 2 hours every other day or at least once a week, and make plans on what area you'll learn about. So basically, you can set up your own course. That's why we were creating those playlists earlier. If you can outline the topics and chapters you want to watch, you can pre-select videos you'll watch each session ahead of time. Or don't make plans. One of the best ways to learn is through playing, experimenting, or just following your curiosity. Base your learning on what you're working at the moment or any specific skill you feel like needs improvement. Find your ideal environment for learning and shut down all distractions.
I will discuss this in more detail soon.
Another thing I would recommend for you after cleaning your space is to clean your mind. And what I mean by that is to minimize social media consumption before and after the study session. From my experience, I find it harder to absorb information when I start my day looking at Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Additionally, if I engage with any kind of social media right after I did my learning session, I tend to forget about what I learned faster. Generally, I can recall an information or movement better after a break. Let it be shorter or longer, or even after I slept on it. Be specific. Choose one, but maximum 3 videos to watch for one session. I don't recommend you to watch more than 3 videos for one learning session because it's just going to be too much. When you're watching those videos, put those videos on full screen so you don't have to see the recommended videos on the sidebar and their enticing thumbnails, which can distract you. When you're learning something, don't binge. Be ready to take notes. In my humble opinion, it is best if you do take notes by hand. Because in my experience, if I take notes by hand, I need to do an instant recall and I just really need to think through what I am writing down. My focus is secure and I don't have any other distractions. I reinforce the note by the movement of my hands and I create a visual memory of my own or my mind map, basically. I've seen this in practice when I was working in a theater for 5 years as a director's assistant. I was providing the actors and the other theater workers with a fresh copy of the corrected text each day, and yet for a very long time they preferred their own original copy, which they took notes on, basically created their own mind map, and they could learn better from there than the fresh copy. Make it easy to show up. Plan one thing to learn and pre-select what you'll watch. It doesn't have to be written on a board or anything, just think about what you will watch. Like if I am particularly interested in how to make basses rumble, I will think about a video I saved about how to make bass rumble, and that's what I'll watch. Create context, which means define when and where you will study. Give yourself a clue or a little ritual. The simpler the task is, the better. Pre-organize your notes. Create chapters based on things you want to learn from the video. This will help you focus more on what you need and it will result in better recall. You can use the timestamps of the video to create topics or subtopics. It will make your life a little bit easier when you're taking notes. As I mentioned earlier, it helps a lot to have a specific place, time, and environment you create for yourself.
For some people, it's a locked room with absolute silence and artificial light. For some, it's a well-lit room with incense, music, and a cup of tea. Others love a crowded coffee shop or library. If you have the time, the place prepared, also a clue that's already existing in your daily life, drinking coffee, brushing teeth, etc., you're more likely to get back to it. I also like to make a cup of coffee or tea as a little ritual.
Put your phone on work mode and close all other tabs in your browser, on your PC, or if you're on the phone or on the tablet, just put everything away. Set a Pomodoro timer to your liking. If you're in a flow, that's a different kind of process and you should absolutely lean into it because that's the time when you can have your best work. But if you need your self-discipline, then set a Pomodoro timer for yourself because this will prevent you from exhausting too soon. Let your family and flatmates know that you need time alone. Ask them to not disturb you. That's all you can do sometimes. Watch and stop. Don't just watch a video. Stop it and make notes. If it's a tutorial, obviously you should stop the video and follow the steps they are teaching you. But making notes when you are following a tutorial is also important. Take breaks. Stand up, drink water, take a few breaths, look at other things, rest your eyes, maybe pat your dog. Look at it. I love it when he hangs out with me.
After you watched the video, processing and learning the new information will require the second most efficient learning technique I mentioned earlier, which is called retrieval practice. Essentially, it says, don't simply restudy information, practice recalling information. Here's how I do it.
The number one thing you could do to practice recall, in my opinion, is to simply talk about it. It's another way to process the information. It makes you think through what you learned, puts you into another perspective, and it also highlights the parts where I need to check my notes again.
Conversation with another human being is the best, but you can also talk to yourself or to your dog. The point is the act of speaking.
Imagine how I would use what I learned. I typically learn about things I am excited and interested about. Usually I'm excited to try out what I learned. I do that unintentional. It's not like I decide, okay, now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to imagine how I'm going to make my basses rumble. And I just sit there and I'm like, if you're not someone like that, I recommend you to imagine it. It is like playing the piano or the guitar in your head. Doing that, it really helps to implement my new skills and my new knowledge as soon as I sit down and start doing it.
Come back and apply 1 to 3 things you remember.
When you want to build a system that allows continuous growth, it is best to focus on implementing 1 to 3 things at a time into your workflow. This way, you don't feel freaking overwhelmed, like I can do. And you give time to the new information to settle in. If you study for an exam, it is best to revisit the last session's notes and make flashcards or practice tests. And there's the good old classic, which is checking back on your notes. If something's unclear, use your own handmade mind map to find the answer. And the last thing is to go back and watch the video if something's unclear, just in any case.
All right, let's run through the whole strategy again. The learning technique comprises 3 stages: prepare, process, and practice. Preparation involves defining your interest and goal, scheduling learning time, creating a conducive learning environment, and being ready to take notes. The process stage involves getting into your learning space, watching and taking notes, and taking breaks. The practice stage involves coming back and applying 1 to 3 things you remember, checking back on your notes as a resource, and rewatching unclear parts of the video. I can imagine how you're feeling right now, because watching a video like this probably seems like a lot of work. And I'd like to be real with you. There are weeks, even a month, that I can't make this happen exactly this way. But the reason why I put this together is so that there's a system that I can return to if I find myself off track. That's why I want to remind you too. The online world's pace is not reality's pace. Even though you see thousands of videos and songs published each minute, each heartbeat, it doesn't mean you're missing out. You are a part of it. What you see online as a success is the result of continuous effort over a long time. If somebody makes $1 million overnight, it might fill their pockets, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are happier than you, and you shouldn't compare yourself to them. If there's anything you take away from this video, take this. 1% progress a day is great progress. I had to record this line so many times.
Tell me about your learning tips. Did you find this video helpful? Please tell me in the comments. All of the gears and programs and applications I use to record videos, make music, and organize my workflow are in the description box. And some of those links are affiliate links. So if you buy something, I'll receive a small commission, which will really help to grow this channel. If you feel like I helped you a lot, there are some options to show your appreciation. One of them is a buy me a coffee link. And also, if you go to my Bandcamp site and listen to my music, you can donate for the experience. Thank you so much. If you like this video and you want to explore more about making music, here's the one where I explain 3 things I learned during creating my first ever drum and bass track. And here I am sharing some tips and tricks about how to turn a melody into a chord progression. Also, I react to some songs over here. Check it out. Bye!